Hi, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hearts. So lovely to be with you. Today, I want to dive into what to do when you have lost your mojo, when you feel like you have kind of forgotten who you are, when you feel like your spark is gone, and really getting back into that frequency of magic, getting back into that frequency of what lights you the fuck up. So, welcome everybody. I am Gilly Godward, intuitive mental energy healer. I work with women and have done for 30 years and help them to really come back into their own wisdom. So, I see women all the time who come to me and they feel like they have temporarily disconnected from what lights them up. They feel like they've lost their mojo. And I have times when I definitely feel that as well. If you've been watching this channel for a little while, you'll know that things that light me up are music and dance and finding extremely bright, colored, ridiculous clothes at op shops. Sorry, couldn't not. My band. And scaring myself by coming on live to YouTube without any script and without seeing, when you go live, you don't see a preview of yourself. That's why in all these videos, you'll see me doing my hair, because I literally do not see what I look like. So it's like I'll be really distracted if there's a piece of hair sticking out. So that's why the first few minutes of every video is me doing my hair. But there are so many things that I could be doing right now. There are so many things that are calling me. There are so many things that are needing my attention. However, my goddesses, my queens, this is what I wanted to do the most. My next step was what lights me up the most. Now, I know that when I do this, when I'm in the frequency of the flow of just opening up to my heart and doing what I love. I mean, this is what I absolutely love. I love sharing tools and energy management to help us to get back into alignment, to help us to feel fucking amazing, to help us to feel empowered, remember our wisdom, tune into our intuition. After I've done that, everything else begins to flow. But if I'd gone, I'm going to do all those annoying little things that I have to do with resentment, or listen to this one, or because I felt like I had to prove myself through productivity, through doing. Anybody else? Because I never felt like I was good enough, never felt like I'd done enough, never felt like I was enough, then I would be resentful. And do you know how many women I speak to who are really resentful because they carry so much? I mean, it should be a full-time job, the role of the feminine, in terms of what we sometimes carry for others, and in terms of what we carry around emotions, what we carry around feeling people's pain. No more, she cried. No more, she cried. It's so good to be with you. I'm actually just going to record this on my phone as well. So bear with one moment. This is what happens when you leap onto something without planning. So I'm going to talk you through, first of all, because if you're watching this and you're like, you know what, Gilly, I'm actually feeling a bit shit at the moment. I feel like I've lost my mojo. I've lost my way. I've lost the thing that lights me up, and I'm feeling disconnected. I'm feeling like I don't know what my next step is. The number one thing I always say to women, if you don't know what your next step is, do the one thing that lights you up. And that can be a 1% shift in your energy. So it can be doing something as silly and irreverent as dancing around the kitchen to your favorite song. It can be wearing something that just feels a little bit different, a little bit crazy to the supermarket. It can be putting on some lipstick. It can be just going outside and touching a plant. It just can be something that feels slightly on your edge of rebelliousness. The other day, I wasn't feeling 100%, and something that's slightly on the edge of my rebelliousness is to actually rest. It actually makes me feel like I'm not being that productive. So for me to lie down in my bed during the day is still one of those things where I have to actually make myself do it. But because it was pushing my buttons, I decided to do it. And it was wonderful. I just lay there for like an hour in the morning, and I felt completely replenished and completely revived, but I knew that it was at the edge of my edges. It was like a slight rebellion for me to be doing that. Whew, getting so hot. So my morning routine, I've shared some of this before, but I'm going to share a little bit of it now for when you lose your mojo or your frequency. So this is on my perfect morning, which I have a lot more perfect mornings than imperfect mornings, especially since I stopped drinking altogether 3.5 years ago. I find that I wake up and I feel, even if I haven't had a great night's sleep, I feel fantastic. So I wake up, I roll over, I give myself a hug and I say, Gilly, I love you. Today's going to be a great day. I get up, I brush my teeth, I put a warm flannel on my face. That is so beautiful to do. It's like I have my flannel ready in the morning. I put it in hot water, put it on my face because I don't shower before I exercise, but I always like to clean my face. And I put my beautiful oils. I get my beautiful oils of rosehip and sea buckthorn, and I put it over my face like a goddess. Oh, feels so nice. Feels so nice. And I always put my mascara on, even if I'm going to the beach. I know, it's just a funny thing, but it makes me feel good. Get into my exercise gear and I make myself a cup of cacao, have a glass of water, and I am out the door to exercise. So what I've been doing for the last few months is I've been getting up early and I've been catching the sunrise. Now that liminal space is just magic for me. And I know I'm like a newly converted non-smoker about getting up earlier, but it is so beautiful and magical. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that people are just not building grandstands to this. As I've said, it's so incredible. But the most incredible thing about that time, I mean, I did used to get up a bit later, but I would always move my body first. So in whichever way was fun for me. So sometimes if it's pissing down with rain, I'd be in here dancing. I am not someone who goes to the gym first thing in the morning because I need to get my head on straight. I need to make sure I'm in my own energy bubble. So being alone for me in the morning is very important. I try to minimize my interactions with my family members in the morning because I want to know where my energy is, where I begin and end. And if it's been a big energetic night, I need to clear the energy and really ground myself. So this is a really, really important, non-negotiable time for me. This is what means that I can do the work that I do. It means that the day flows with ease and with grace. And it means that I can show up with a smile on my face. So in that liminal space in the morning when I am in between consciousness and sleep, sleep and consciousness and coming in and starting to wake my body up. And sometimes I'll be doing some of the anti-rheumatic, anti-arthritic yoga exercises, twists, and I'll be doing my sun salutes to the sun and stretching and moving my fascia and just allowing myself to kind of wriggle into the day. And when I'm walking, I generally don't take my phone with me. I don't check my phone. On a perfect day, I do not check my phone. Some days I do. But on a perfect day, I would walk without my phone and I don't listen to anything. Some days I do listen to podcasts, but most of the time I just like to be in that space because what happens in that space, and we get afraid of space. We get so afraid of having space. We get so afraid of being present with ourselves because of the fear of the feelings that might come up in that space. And yet the truth is that when we are in that space of no thing and just being and listening, just like a moving meditation, we actually get to hear our intuition and to hear our thoughts. And I often receive songs or paintings. I often receive inspiration about courses that I'm going to run or podcasts that I'm going to record. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the more time that I have, the more that I do it, the more that I receive it. Now, people often say to me, Gilly, how do I know if an intuition is an intuition? How do I receive more intuition? How do I get more connected? How do I get more downloads? Give yourself time. Sweet, sweet, sweetheart, give yourself time. Give yourself time. Give yourself space. Give yourself time. Give yourself space. This is where intuition comes in. This is where creativity comes in. This is where connection to source comes in. Remember, connection to source is connection to yourself. And having this time in the morning, this space, even if it's only 10 minutes, having that time to set your energy up, to feel into what's yours, that is a non-negotiable for me as an intuitive, as a mentor, as a creative. That is an absolute non-negotiable time. And then I will sit at the beach and I will do a short meditation breathing exercise. And then I'll do an invocation. Now, the reason I do my breathing and meditation is because it's so important for us to feel a full breath in our body, even if it's just 3 full belly breaths. So many of us are up here with our breath, and it just lowers and grounds everything. And then I open up my arms wide and I say something like, I am a multidimensional, magnificent being of light. I am here today to shine bright. I now command the atoms of the universe and the energy to come into the highest frequency for my divine light energy. I call in all that it is mine. I call in all that is mine. And I return to my highest possible timeline. I bless this day in every single way. May all my interactions be filled with grace, be filled with joy, and so it is. Something to that effect. It doesn't matter if it's not that. Find something that's quick and easy for you. I now bless this day is enough. I imagine light going out to every one of my clients, to all the people that I'm going to see, into the supermarket if I'm going there, into things that I have to do, no matter how big or small or menial or massive they are. I ask for light to go into all those places through my computer. I ask for things to flow with ease and with grace. And Louise Hay said it beautifully. She said, when we send love into the future, our own love is there to meet us. And I always think of that. If you're going somewhere on a trip, send love before you, and that love will be there. If you've got a meeting, send love into the meeting. Your love will be there to meet you. Isn't that just the most beautiful thing? So your frequency, your energy, your alignment, when you've lost your mojo, most of the time it's because you have slipped out of alignment and then things have spiraled from there. So if I don't have a morning like that, or if I have an interaction which knocks me out too quickly, or something happens, an alarm goes off and I'm jolted out and, something happens, it takes me a little bit to ground in. So we can spiral, right? And it can be like, I always say, what was that POC? What was the point of creation? Like if you have one of those weeks where it's like, fuck, everything went wrong. And then you spiral back and you're like, that's right. That's because I got really pissed on Saturday night and I was really hungover on Sunday. And then I ate really shitty food. And then I broke out in spots. And then I felt really constipated. And then the next day I didn't eat well. And then I didn't go to my gym class and I didn't meditate. And I had an argument with my partner, whatever it is, it's like spiral. So really coming back to what is that thing that knocked us out and how can we get 1%, just, like driving a car, how can you just pull it back ever so slightly? Because none of us are fucking perfect. I say that is my most perfect day. And of course, they're not all like that. There's days when I'll just do one round of tapping, like without even talking, or I'll do a quick little tiny meditation. I mean, I generally always try and move just because I feel so fucking good. It's not because it's me, like it's not feeling like a punishment. It's feeling like something that I love. So you will never create the life that you say that you want to bring in when you are in the energy of complaining about the life that you have. So to shift our mojo, to reclaim, to remember our mojo, we have to also remember our power and to remember our wisdom. So when we're working together, one of the key things that I'm doing is I'm listening for the stories that you tell yourself, the stories that are normally 3 or 4 key stories that you keep on repeating and showing up in different ways through different actors in your play. And when those stories are conscious in our mind, and when we start to hear them and we know them, then we can see what tips us off. And we can see what makes us a victim rather than brings our wisdom and our power back online. And if you were trying to create more wealth, for example, and yet you're looking at your bank account and going, oh my God, I've got no money, your frequency is not in alignment with what you actually want to create. So we use the law of contrast. We use that as an entry tool to find ways to just bring your mojo back online. So if you're looking at your life right now and you go, Gilly, I really don't like this about my life, and you tell me what it is, a relationship that's not great, or your health isn't great. And I'll say, okay, so what is it that you would love? How would you love to feel? How would you love to feel about your abundance? I'd love to feel peaceful. I'd love to feel safe. I'd love to feel like I could do things that light me up. Or in a relationship, I'd love to feel loved, seen, visible, whatever it is. And then when we know what the frequency is that we want, we give it to ourselves. We give it to ourselves. This is the reverse engineering. This is the point that we can bring our power back in, and we can begin to talk back in time to those little younger parts, and we can give them what they need. They are wanting to hear you are safe. Money is not about how much money you have. Money is about your connection to the divine. Money is actually about safety and survival. So if we're saying to that little part of us, you are safe, you are safe. I am here. I see you. I will never, ever leave you. I love you so much. She feels safe and seen. And when she's integrated, your outer world starts to shift and change. So your mojo, bringing your mojo back in even 1% into the frequency of divine creator, co-creator, and moving out of the victim energy helps us get back into that alignment and back into that energy that we know when we're in a good way, when things are really going well. We know that it's because we have shifted our frequency. We have shifted our mojo. We have found something that just brings us back in. Like it might just be one good friend that we have who's always lifts us up or gives us a little reminder, and we might be around them and their frequency is great and they're shining and they're sharing some wonderful story. And you're like, yes, that so lights me up. And then you're like, yeah, I can do that too. And you start to get into that frequency of like, oh, yeah. And conversely, if you're talking to someone who's like, that can also bring you down. So watching who and what you spend your time with and asking yourself, what is one simple thing? Just one simple thing. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. It can just be getting out of bed, putting your feet on the ground and moving to brush your teeth and putting a hot flannel on your face. You don't need to do the whole myriad of things. You only need to do one thing, because getting out of bed might be really, really big for you. And if you could say to yourself, I'm so proud of you. I am so fucking proud of you for doing that. Then immediately there's self-love. There's that motherly, maternal sense of being seen. You're honoring yourself and the vibration starts to shift. Now let's just do a little quick tapping. It is safe for me to move back into my frequency. My frequency is a high divine vibration, and I am allowed to be in celebration. It is safe for me to move my divine frequency, to lift my mojo, and to feel happy. It is safe for me to get my energy feeling snappy. Yeah. And just take that through the midline. Woo! I have my mojo back. I have my mojo back. I am high frequency. I am high frequency. The mind can only believe one thing at a time. Our old neural pathways, our old programs are just there to protect us. They're not there for our amazingness. So do something that shifts your energy. Write down 5 things that lift your frequency. Just 5 things that you can always have. Maybe it's putting on a beautiful dress. Maybe it's, gardening. Maybe it's eating something really beautiful, going to a coffee shop that lights you up, phoning that friend, doing a painting. Anything, but just have them to hand. And remember, those are my mojo things, because when we slip in the frequency and go back down into, nothing good comes from that, right? Nothing good comes from that. And I'm not saying that you whitewash that. I'm not saying that you just go, oh, that didn't happen. I'm saying you feel it, you heal it, you integrate it. We dance into the shadow. In individual sessions, we go there. We go there big time, and we let that have space, and we let that be seen, and we dance into the muck and the mess, and we really go there, because when we're in it, we can actually integrate it. And when it's seen and it's loved, when people hear themselves through my reflections, they're actually transformed just by hearing their wisdom back, just by hearing what they've been holding in here. So that 1% back into divine aligned mojo, because the truth of the matter is that it's when you decide that you are enough, when you decide that you've done enough, when you decide that you are allowed to have more than what you have, that you're allowed to have more joy, abundance, whatever it is. When you make that decision, that's when the universe starts to line things up. So grant yourself that permission. I'm sending you so much love.